Hello and welcome to this webcast on segmentation-based strategic behavioral communication, or SBC, in the ASTA project. This is a webcast that will talk about the principles of audience segmentation based on risk and vulnerability. And based on this segmentation, we will talk about the SBC strategy as well as some innovative materials most suitable for prevention behavior change communication with specific audience segments. We will be sharing examples and demonstrations from FHI 360's ASTA project, funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation under Avahan India HIV Initiative. However, do bear in mind that these principles and experiences can definitely be modified as per the need of your project's target audience and local environment to make your intervention most effective. So let us begin by understanding what is SBC. In FHI 360, Strategic Behavioral Communication, or SBC, is defined as an interactive process with individuals and communities to develop tailored communication strategies, messages, and approaches using a mix of communication channels and interventions to promote healthier behaviors and support individual, community, and societal behavior change. SBC supports the entire continuum of FHI 360's HIV/AIDS prevention, treatment, care and support interventions. It lends communication expertise to all program components such as clinical services, advocacy, social and community mobilization. It uses marketing principles and behavior change theories to deliver consistent messages through multi-layered approaches, leading to an increase in uptake of services and products. As we see in this figure, SBC is cross-cutting all program components. It helps us to develop our product and clinic service strategies, community and social mobilization strategies, place and price strategies, and finally, the promotion strategies for prevention, care and support, and treatment activities. It also feeds into advocacy and impact mitigation aspects of the project. Corresponding to this figure, the second figure shows how SBC has supported various project activities in ASTA. Generally, in any HIV prevention program with MAPS, in the initial stages, ORWs and peer educators are recruited and trained to use already available materials. ASTA project did the same. However, a majority of old school IC materials were found to be more in the tell mode, rather than encouraging community involvement to assess self-risk and identify ways and means to reduce that risk. Soon we realized that we needed to do something different. It was important to foster the process of behavior change through self-risk perception and risk reduction using communication hooks to initiate these dialogues. Communication hooks are simply topics that will easily attract and sustain the interest of the MAPS. These are issues such as, for example, beauty, which MAPS will readily and enthusiastically discuss with their peer educators, and which can be a medium to lead the discussion towards the issues of HIV prevention in a friendly and non-threatening environment. Thus, the new set of SBC materials were developed, which were interactive and sequential. Peer educators and outreach workers were trained in effective interpersonal communication skills to use these materials to generate dialogue with all the MAPS. Care was taken to ensure that the sessions were community-centric. Since the quality of the interventions is FHI 360's priority, we also assessed the quality of the sessions through a newly developed tool for quality assessment and improvement. Identify the specific needs of different sections or segments within the MAPS and then provide them with customized, tailor-made SBC as per their needs. What do we have here? A picture story. Take a few minutes to interpret what it says. So, we see in the first cell a negotiation between a MAP and a customer. While the customer seems to be offering a big sum of money in return for sex without a condom, the sex worker is aware of the dangers of HIV and is refusing. In the next cell, we see her having intercourse with a lover. And is she using a condom? Yes, she is. And what do we see in the third cell? She is at a project clinic for an internal examination and a consultation with the doctor. In the next cell, we see her undergoing a blood test for HIV. What's happening in the next one? She seems to be participating in a community meeting. In the next one, we see her eating clean, nutritious food. And then, she is depositing money at a bank counter. She is saving for her child's education. And the last cell, we see her safely encased in a symbolic condom where the HIV virus is not able to touch her. So what should we say about this mark? She's aware, shows good health-seeking behavior, follows safe sexual practices, and knows how to keep herself away from infections. We would place her on the upper end of the spectrum of behavior change for practicing safer behaviors. Now, what do we see in the other picture story? Take a few minutes to interpret what it says. In the first cell, we see the MAB agreeing to have unprotected sex in exchange for more money. In the next cell, we see her having intercourse with her lover, and is she using a condom here? No. And what do we see in the third cell? She seems to be intoxicated, she abuses alcohol, and may not be in her full senses when making safe or risky choices. In the next cell, we see her stepping out of the project clinic but throwing away the free medication given to her. Seems she doesn't have self-risk perception yet. What's happening in the next one? She is refusing to participate in the community meeting, even though the PE is urging her to attend. In the next one, we see her in pain, suffering from an STI again. Here she is reporting at the clinic with symptoms once again. And will she heed the advice for safe choices once her symptoms have gone? Unlikely. And the last cell, we see her once again refusing any knowledge or suggestions for safe behavior. So what should we say about this MAP? She takes risks, shows poor health-seeking behavior, ignores suggestions for safer practices, and consequently, frequently suffers from infections. We would have to place her on the lower end of the spectrum for behavior change for practicing high-risk behaviors. On the risk spectrum, while we place the first mark on the upper end for consistent safe practices, we place the second mark on the lower end for practicing consistent high-risk behaviors. However, does that complete the entire spectrum? The fact is that every MAP has her own or his own index of risk, and that is determined by various factors at any particular point of time. And that means that our target audience is at different spots of the risk spectrum. Naturally then, they will all have different communication needs. So can one size fit all? Let's look at this dartboard. What does it take to hit the bullseye? The right aim, isn't it? Consider that our target is our MAP's attitudes, their will for adopting behavior change. Is it easy to aim for it? Not at all easy as some would think, because there are several obstacles in the way to her thoughts, her attitudes, her ability to make her choices. Consider that our target is our MAP's attitudes, the will for adopting behavior change. Is it easy to aim for it? Not at all as easy as some might think, because there are several obstacles in the way to her thoughts, her attitudes, her ability to make her own choices. For example, there's a need for money, there could be a lover, there's family, there's children, power figures such as pimps, managers, the stigma of feeling like a sex worker. These are just few of the common factors. Undoubtedly, there are several more. It is through this maze of influences that we must aim to reach our mark to instill an intention of behavior change. This is the background of ASTA's project strategy of audience segmentation for SPC delivery. After consultation with the MAPs themselves, members of the outreach team and inputs from subject matter experts, the project arrived at 5 major segments into which MAPs can be categorized based on their level of risk as well as that corresponding communication need. Let us take a look. The first segment is that of a new MAP. This is a MAP who has just been registered into the project. He or she may either be new to the profession of sex work or might be new to that site. After the initial SPC efforts, this MAP can be expected to move towards one of 2 behavior paths, either that of safer behaviors or risky behaviors. Among those who choose the safer behaviors, we can expect some to reach the uppermost level of safe practices. These MARPs form the second segment called as the ambassadors. However, not all MARPs reach the segment quickly and completely. Thus, we have the third segment who practice safer sex behaviors to a large degree, though not fully. These are known as lower risk MARPs. Now, for those who choose the path of risk behaviors, we have the fourth segment who consistently take risk, the higher risk MARPs. There is also the last and fifth segment of MARPs who are identified to be HIV positive, the HIV positive MARPs. Within this segment, there is a sub-segment of positive MARPs who show behavior change towards positive living and safer practices despite their HIV infection. These are the PLHIV ambassadors. Each segment is color-coded for ease of understanding for the low literate or illiterate peer educators. So we have green for new MARPs, white for ambassadors, orange for MARPs at lower risk, yellow for MARPs at higher risk, and red for PLHIV MARPs. The peer educators see these segments and their color codes in their microplan for their respective sites. We have another webcast on microplanning which should give you more details on how to examine that. Project services, including SBC sessions, are planned and implemented to match the need of the MARP as per his or her risk level as indicated by that segment that he or she is categorized by. Please note that this categorization is done by the peer educator in order to be able to plan his or her work and prioritize service delivery. At no point are these segments shared with the MARPs themselves. Based on this segmentation, customized SBC packages were tailor-made for each group of MARPs. So we have the revised SBC minimum package for new MARPs, the ASTA ambassador package for the ambassadors, the staying negative package for lower risk MARPs, the revised SBC plus package for higher risk MARPs, and the PLHIV and ART adherence package for HIV positive MARPs. Besides these 5 packages corresponding to the 5 segments, there were 2 other packages that were introduced that were cross-cutting. One is the stigma and discrimination package, and the second, the community mobilization package. We shall look into each one of these packages in detail. The unique features of this SBC strategy are tailor-made communication packages based on the risk of MARPs, community-centric implementation, use of varied communication hooks such as beauty, money, children, incorporation of communication related to stigma and discrimination, as well as community mobilization. Here is the first package, the revised ASTA minimum package for new MARPs. There are 8 materials here. The chief focus of this package is to build rapport and gain the trust of the MARPs through the use of communication hooks. Discussions on STIs and HIV is slowly and briefly initiated with the help of this package. Next, we have the staying negative package for lower risk MARPs. There are 7 materials here. The chief focus of this package is to reinforce the safer behaviors being adopted by the MARPs and help them practice them more consistently with the help of materials that serve as reminders. Next, we have the revised SBC Plus package for higher risk MARPs. There are 11 materials here. The chief focus of this package is to repeat and reiterate safer behaviors and encourage the MARPs to start adopting them. The materials here are high in impact and forceful in messaging. Here is the ASTA ambassador package. There are 3 materials here. The chief focus is to show appreciation for the MARPs who have shown positive behavior change and inculcate in them a sense of community leadership so that they inspire other MARPs to follow their example. And last, we have the PLHIV and ART adherence package. There are 6 materials here. Chief focus is on positive prevention and positive living for the HIV positive MARPs. Here are also the packages for stigma and discrimination and community mobilization. They have 5 and 3 materials respectively. Detailed guidelines along with pictures and instructions are available for every single material on the FHI website. Please do take the time to look at the link. For any questions or further discussions, please do feel free to write to us at these email addresses. Thank you.